Surprising says, I sometimes wonder why, even if we logically know what we have to do about our exes and what is good for us, we still cannot control our thoughts and fall back in what ifs and feelings of regret for ex. Also, social media stalking become an addiction even if we know is wrong. They need to know what they are doing to make us feel good for a second, but so bad after 32 male Romanian. Well, listen, on this channel, we have about 2,000 videos, and we have talked about all these things that you're talking here. Go through the channel and look at the thumbnails and the titles, and you will find the ones that is relevant to what you're focusing on. You don't have to stalk anyone at all. The problem is that you think you have to want someone who doesn't want you in order to feel important and more, because you have been conditioned to think that your worth and value comes from the opinion of other people outside of you. That is a total malarkey, programming you to depend on other people's opinion about you and who you are and your worth and value. You become dependent on other people's worth and value, which means you become a slave to their whims, and you will listen or comply to their bullshit in order to get kudos, words which mean and worth nothing, but you're conditioned to give it worth and value, saying to you that you're nothing unless other people think you are. And who are other people? Those other people are the ones who actually are looking for other people to make them feel good about themselves. So it's a vicious cycle, and it's bullshit altogether. Everybody is dependent on everybody, and that's the way to control everybody, by the society, by the rules that have been come to the play to make you feel you're nothing unless some asshole from somewhere else says, oh, you're such a good person. Well, who is saying that? Who are you that you call me a good person and I'm supposed to be good? And if you didn't, I'm supposed to feel bad. What have you accomplished in your own life? Why am I actually feeling it's important for me to hear that you think good about myself when I don't even know who the fuck are you? And I'm supposed to give a fuck who you are, who everybody else is but me. Because this is how we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned since childhood. If you guys haven't had the chance to look at my new series called Change is Coming, which starts with a video about 30 minutes called The Colognes. The Colognes. And it shows you a little bit about what goes through you when you're born, and what goes through your mind, what goes through your life from birth to get to a certain age. And this series is about 5 or 6 segments. They're all in a playlist called Change is Coming. 4 of them are brand new, and 3 of them are of old videos that I've add them to the same playlist. You will enjoy it. But the thing is, we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to be miserable. We've been conditioned since childhood to be afraid. The reason that other people's opinion have become so important to you, because you have been conditioned to lose your own worth and value coming from you, to believe in yourself. The first thing has been done since childhood is to destroy all beliefs that you have in yourself and separate you from your origin, your source, the universe. The mighty power that gives you power of life has been taken away, separated you from, and connected you that you get your sources, you get your powers from some bullshit that somebody has put together and in the name of the society, and have made you comply to that and thinking that's where the source of energy is. Therefore, they've taken away all your confidence and put it in the hands of some assholes out there who are supposed to be the public, to think of you based on certain behavior that you're conditioned to comply as the society has been put together. And who put that society together? You, we the people are we have designed that society, and now we want to comply to that society which we have created. And we don't want to change it forever and over. Why? Because the ones who actually created that kind of a thing want to constantly be that's a way to control everybody. Expectation of a society, which is actually the people of you, makes you be compliance to what the society commands you to do. And to do that, they have created that fear in you from childhood. Fear of everything. Parents wanted to do good for you, protect you, so they had no reason, no other choice, and that was the only part that wasn't really malicious, to maybe encourage you to listen to them through certain kind of punishment, taking your toy away, which makes you feel like you're not in power. Somebody else is. Even if you want to play with your toy, somebody else is in control of that. I have to comply to my mother, to my father, to my teacher, in order to be able to have this toy that I can play in the classroom. So that, to begin with, is the beginning of controlling you. It's a beginning of making you afraid. There's a consequence. And then you go to school. Now you're going to be afraid of exams. There's an exam. You're not good enough. You're not good enough on your own. You have to prove to me you're good enough by passing exam. Your effort is not enough. You got to pass the exam. So I'm now conditioned to furthermore, not just from home, not from school, now in every level of school, I have to be afraid of that I'm not good enough because I have to pass certain exam and bridges. Now then I come to workplace. I got to be afraid of police. I got to be afraid of punishment. I got to be afraid of taxes. I got to be afraid of government. I got to be afraid of every goddamn thing, and I got to be afraid of the diseases I might get, because it's constantly being advertised that you might die, you get an insurance, you might get this disease, you got to do this, and I have to be hopeful that the drug companies will come up with the remedy for this particular disease. So constantly, if you look at it from childhood, fear and anxiety and depression because of it has been induced into us. By the time we are in ages of 30 or 35, we kind of run down with all the fears. So if you think you've got anxiety and fears and you think there's something wrong with you, it's not something wrong with you. You've been conditioned to be afraid. You've been conditioned to have anxiety. You've been conditioned to be depressed. You've been conditioned to worry. You've been conditioned to be fearful of everything while you're alive, and at the same time fearful of when I'm dying, because this whole journey is so good that I actually don't want it to end. Why? Because I'm hopeful that I can get rid of all this shit and I will be able to be free and happy and balanced without worrying about taxes, money, job, somebody cheating me, somebody taking my right away, punishments of every kind, and all kinds of things that I've been conditioned to be afraid. I want to outlive it in order to be able to finally find a time that I have enough money, that I have enough health, that I have enough everything, and balanced life, and with good people around me, so I can say, finally, I am my own man or woman. So, if any of you feel anxious, fearful, depressed, don't buy into it. This is a program. This is not necessarily how it's supposed to be. Don't think that you're sick, there's something wrong with you. Of course, you always talk with your doctor, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't want to mislead you. Make sure you speak with your doctor to be healthy and take care of yourself all the time, mentally or physically. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to be anxious. You don't have to be depressed, as in the case of Layla. And you can get over that and move on to bigger and better things by recognizing that everything in this world is there and is meaningful because of you. If you weren't here, none of these things that you make it so more important than you are would have not had any importance at all. It's all because of you. You are the center of the importance of this world to you. You're the most important person in this world. You must understand that. And you can build your life around that by doing your best, being good to yourself, and being good to the others, and shunning away the people who are not good to you, and inviting the ones who want to drink from the same water fountain as you are, and protect it at the same time. All right. Having said that, I come down from the podium.